Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows and then I come over here and I react to them. And today I want to talk about the Peacock television show from 2025 called Revival. Okay, so I wasn't sure if I was going to do a reaction to this because it has been probably now about a month since I have finished Revival. I was watching it week by week, which that's strong dedication for me if I watch a show week by week. And what I mean by that is, well, with reality TV, when they release an episode a week, like with the Housewives and Sister Wives and stuff like that, I'll watch an episode a week and then I will react to it. But with scripted television, like for example, Task on HBO Max or Invasion on Apple, I typically wait until the entire series is out. This is a decision I made about a year ago. I typically wait until the entire season is out and then I go back and I binge watch the season because it's much more enjoyable for me that way. I don't want to wait week by week for the episodes to come out. There's enough TV shows for me to watch that I don't need to watch it week by week, because then I get to the end of the episode, I'm like, oh my God, I have to wait another week. I think one of the last shows I did that with was actually Hijack on Apple, which is a fantastic show. I loved Hijack. But then I started, I'll tell you when it stopped. So I guess it was maybe last Christmas, last December. I don't know when it came out. The last season of True Detective, and I love True Detective, the HBO show. I love it so much. And it was with Jodie Foster. And I watched the first episode, and I was so into it. And it was only 6 episodes, I think. And I was so into it. I was like, I cannot wait for the other episodes to come out. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm waiting until the entire season comes out, and then I'm going to go back and watch it. Now, for some reason, with Revival, I think when I started it, the first 3 seasons, or the first 3 episodes were already out. So I think I watched like the first 3 episodes just to kind of see if I liked it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep this up. So a couple people have asked me to respond to this. It's why I'm doing it. I don't know if anybody's interested in this or not. I would recommend it if you like these kind of shows. I don't know that I think it's the best of its type, but I enjoyed it. I don't know that I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it about 6.5. If the season 2 came out, I would definitely watch a season 2 of it. But, and I did buy the graphic novel compendium that it's based on. So I did like it that much. But I love these kind of shows and stories where the dead come back to life. I love any kind of like zombie show. They're not necessarily zombies. Well, not all of them. Some of them are kind of in between alive and zombies, but in the show. But I love any kind of show where they come back to life. I can't remember the Australian show. I think it was called The Returned, maybe. It was my favorite of all of them that I've seen. And there's 3 seasons of it, I believe, and it's an Australian show. But if you guys have any recommendations where they like come back to life, like they're always like in a small town and they come back to life. And this one was very much like that too. And I had seen the trailer for it, so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna watch this one. And like I said, I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes because they were already out. And then I just kept on watching it because I was so into it. So let me read you the little synopsis about it. Revival came out in 2025. It is 1 season. I think it was 10 episodes. Hold on a second. Let me see how many episodes there are. Yeah, there were 10 episodes. And overview, Revival is a 2025 sci-fi television series based on the Image Comics series of the same name about the recently deceased suddenly rising from their graves in rural Wisconsin, acting as they did in life. The show follows local officer Dana Cypress, and she investigates a murder mystery amidst the chaos and fear gripping the town where everyone alive or revived is a suspect. The series stars Melanie Scafrano as Dana Cypress and is available to stream on Peacock. Key details. The premise. In a small Wisconsin town, the dead return to life, but they are not zombies. Well, some of them are kind of in between there, I'd say. They are the same people they were in life. Not necessarily. Some of them are like attacking people and stuff like that. The show is a little bit gruesome, I will tell you that. A little gory gruesome. It's a psychological drama with horror elements focusing on character-driven narratives rather than typical zombie tropes. The main character is Dana Cypress, a local officer and single mother, drawn into a murder mystery that forces her to confront the town's strange new reality. The source material is an adaptation of the comic book series of Revival by Tim Seeley and Mike Norton. I bought the entire compendium. Haven't started it yet. It's like 1,000 pages. I also have The Walking Dead, all 4 or 5 of the compendiums of those. And you can watch it on Sci-Fi and is available to stream on Peacock. Okay, so, and it premiered on June 12th of 2025. Oh wait, is there a season 2 of Revival? It probably got canceled. Yes, the Revival television series has a season 2 on the way, as confirmed by its creators in the show's cliffhanger ending, which sets up new mysteries for the next installment. Well, it kind of ended on a cliffhanger, but not 100%. I'm going to tell you what the show's about. I'm not going to give a ton of spoilers. Like I said, if you like this kind of thing, it's a fun watch. It's a quick watch. So it's about this small town in Wisconsin, and this police officer, Dana Cypress, her father, I believe, is like the sheriff of the town, and then her sister is like kind of like a wild child. And their mother has passed away, and there's a lot of like speculation over how the mother passed away, and it was like, I believe, in a car accident, and that the daughter, the wild child daughter, had something to do with it. You find out more about that later. That's kind of an ongoing theme throughout the whole thing. So then what happens is, one day they start getting calls about people like coming back to life. They don't really figure it out right away. And so then the CDC is called in, and then this like CDC, there's like these 2 people from the CDC, and they set up like a laboratory, and they come there to start taking samples of stuff. The main guy from the CDC and Dana start working together to kind of like try to figure out what's going on. And is it aliens? Like, are they coming from another Earth? Are they angels? Like, how are these people? I know a lot of people haven't watched this show, and like I said, if you like this kind of thing, you would like this show. I gave it, what did I say, a 6.5 out of 10 or something like that. Just because it was like, if I missed it, like it's, okay, I love shows like From, really dark shows. One of the reasons I'm doing the reaction is because if you're looking for something spooky to watch, I definitely think it's of that quality. I think the special effects are good enough in it. I think the storyline holds well enough into it. But I don't think it's something that, like, if you missed it, you'd be missing out. But like I said, I liked it enough that I like these I like any kind of storyline where people come back to life. So then it's about, I feel like any one of these shows I watch anymore, like I was just watching, I did my review of Wayward. Like, I feel like there's always kind of like a political component that's like, there's a subconscious message about, a subliminal message about politics going on. So it's about these revived coming back to life, and then they're trying to find out who they are, and then the government gets involved, and then like all of the revived have to be named, and they have to basically register if they're revived or if they're not revived. And so then nobody wants to be registered as a revived because they're treated differently, and like restaurants are like, they don't want the revived in there. And so it's like a lot of people, including like town officials, like their family members, have come back, because some of the revived have come back and they're like very aggressive, and this is where it's like they said that there's no zombies, but there's like 2 or 3 incidents where it's like the revived come back and they're like attacking people, violently attacking people. But most of the revived that come back, like you would never know. Like if I was revived and I'd come back, like they're just like normal people. And so the sister of Dana, and her dad is the sheriff, the sister is one of the revived, but she doesn't know how she died, because the last memory that she has was she's on this bridge. And so she thinks that she may have taken her life because she feels guilty about her mom's death. But then she finds out that she was murdered. So the backstory to this is the murder investigation of her trying to figure out, with this other revived guy that she kind of like falls in love with, that the backstory is trying to find out who murdered her. And then there's like this guy in town, and he's very like religious, and he's like, we've got to take all the revived down because they're bad and they're like coming back to take over the earth. And then the government comes in and they like cease everything to do with the CDC. And then they start these detention camps where the revived have to go to these detention camps. While at the same time, the sheriff and his police officer daughter are trying to find their sister and daughter and get her out of town through these like underground ways of trying to escape her, because if they can get her out of town and they can get her into Canada, then she's safe. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff going on at the same time, but it's not as confusing, all of that. Like the storyline is pretty clear. You do find out like why they're being revived, why they're coming back. It has a lot to do with the water in the town and this lake, but it's a murder mystery that is kind of like clouded around this idea of this like the revivers coming back. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I kind of did like it. I don't know, like I don't regret at all watching it, but like if you've watched From is one of my favorite shows. I just finished War of the Worlds. I was actually going to do that reaction today. Both of those are MGM shows. I thought, well, From is one of my favorite shows of life. It doesn't come back till 2026. This is dark like From, but I would say a little campier than that. Like not as, it's serious, but it's a little campier than that. And the special effects are not as good. I mean, the special effects are still good in this, but like, as far as like the special effects on War of the Worlds, which came out years ago, the special effects on that are fantastic. So I would recommend this if you're somebody that likes sci-fi. If you like sci-fi and you like shows where people come back from the dead, I think the storyline of this is more of like an 8 to a 10. But I think like, it gets a little slow in the middle a little bit. There's kind of some side storylines and stuff like that. I think for the average person that was just like, tell me what show I have to watch this weekend, no, I would say it's like a 6.5. But if you're somebody like me that watches a lot of this stuff, it's a must watch. So I don't know if that makes sense. I know this is kind of like, I'm kind of like back and forth with this, but like I'm somebody that likes to watch all these kind of shows. So of course for me, I would watch it and it would be a must watch. But if you're just looking for like the best new show to watch out there, I wouldn't say Wayward, and I wouldn't say this, and I definitely wouldn't say Monster Ed Gein. So I would say Shetland on BritBox would be my recommendation if you have to watch a must-watch show for this weekend. But anyway, that's my reaction to Revival. I'm going to get into the compendium and wait for season 2. If you guys watched it, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.